Welcome back to another episode of Inactive Listening. If this is your first time listening, we're your hosts. I'm Logan.
And I'm Walter.
And thank you for joining us today. It's been a hot one. It's been a scorcher the past few days.
Yeah.
Which we probably said last week because...
Because it's still hot.
Yep, it's still hot.
Yeah, you guys probably don't.
You guys are probably like, what the heck? It's blizzard rain outside.
It's January. Yeah. Is there anything that I don't know about you?
No, you know everything, dude. Inside and out.
I know what your penis looks like.
Dude, no you don't. Maybe, I don't know. Did swim together. Literally.
Yeah. And I know you played soccer.
Yep.
Pretty good at it.
Mm,
We did camp convention together.
don't
then
remember.
We were a counselor together.
Mm-hmm.
How did I remember that? Because that was the first time I met you, was camp convention.
I barely...
Because
I
Pete knew you.
do remember it. That's something I want to talk about, is that I think my memory's failing. I really do. I was trying to think whenever I was... Right before we started recording, I was taking a little tinkle, and I was trying to think of what we're going to talk
remember
about.
how to pee.
And it's not there. There's nothing there. Unless it was like a traumatic thing. I'm just... So, it's like... I'm trying to think of what it would be like. But
For what?
it's like I'm walking on a road. It's like in a doodle jump, and there's some of those platforms that are cracked or
And they
whatever,
give
and you
away.
jump on them and then they fall away.
Yeah.
That's like my memory. The further along, like every day that I go, there's just, however far back, is just slowly like dissipating into the abyss. So I'm just like losing
So, like, is this a new thing?
that I realized. I finally turned around and looked, and I was like, oh, all those memories they're falling into the darkness below, into the abyss below.
But how do you know that?
Because I just don't remember. I try to think, and there's nothing.
So you're
there.
comparing yourself now to yourself when you were younger, like your ability to remember things, like
Yeah.
you feel like you used to remember more things.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I see.
There's just nothing there. There's just nothing there.
Well, okay.
I don't remember anything. I don't remember any stories.
So, like, if you truly don't remember them, how do you know you forgot it?
I don't know, dude. Dude, I forgot how to answer that.
Or
Just kidding.
or is it more like you feel like something should be there, but it's not?
It's like I'm trying to think.
Like I guess I do remember a lot of stuff.
I'm putting into the input. I'm into the search bar. I'm typing in interesting stories, and there's just nothing popping up. So I guess there's either my memory is failing or there are no interesting stories.
Do you remember your first grade teacher?
Yeah. If you provoke me, sure. Then I remember.
Okay, well, yeah, like it's not like I truly go unprovoked and recall the deepest nugget of memory of my life. Like I see something or someone says something that I'm just like given flashbacks to it.
Yeah, so I would prefer if you did that so I can think of something to say.
Sure.
So
Did you like your first grade teacher?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or I could cut it. But she's married now, so that's not her
She's
name.
also a public government employee.
Miss
Whose
Bleep.
whose salary is online. Like, so I think she agreed to that.
She agreed to what?
Like her name to be mentioned. You know.
Oh, okay. Well, that, yeah.
Although
It's
if
different
if
now,
her
though.
salary's
She's married.
online, they can find her and know where we live. No, I don't care. That's too deep.
But she was the same teacher as my 4th grade teacher.
Was she better the second time around?
Don't remember. See, this is where it comes in.
Okay.
Don't remember.
Okay, so 4th grade was a whole year of your life.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't remember anything about that year at all?
I remember in one of those 2 years, one of those 2 grades, something happened, and then I got pretzel M&Ms because she used to have a candy box. I do remember that.
Was it like because you had good behavior?
That sounded like a phone buzzing. At least in my ears it did. I don't know. Either I did good on a test. I saved a family and a small child from some traumatic event, or I just asked her and she gave me a piece of candy. It's one of those three, I'm thinking. Probably the second one. Second place, probably the third one. The latter. And then least likely, probably the first one.
I see. Yeah. Every kid saves a small family
Mm-hmm.
at least a couple times in their day. Do you remember your classmates from fourth grade? We'll keep it in fourth grade.
Do you hear it again? Phone buzzing. I do, because there was I don't know if I could talk about it or not. Probably. Who cares? There was an event. There was an event that I was accused of making fun of someone, which 100% did not do. Got accused of it. Got in trouble of it at home with my parents.
Are you sure you didn't make fun of them?
1,000%. I remember that clear as day. I was sitting by my other friend, who I started to become. He was a new kid, and then within the year, we were best buds. And then him and I were laughing at this basketball book that we were reading, because it was independent reading time or whatever. For those who know, for audio listeners, for those who know, and we were laughing, and then all of a sudden, my teacher comes up and says, "I need you out in the hallway." "Now, mother effer!" I was like, okay. And I stood up. I said, "Yes, sir," or "Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sergeant. Yes, ma'am." And then I marched out, and then this kid, who will be unnamed, was upset, visibly upset, and then me and my other friend, who was a little bit of a troublemaker, we'll say, but he was really funny, was out there.
Classic.
I got roped into it. Pretty upset.
I figured
I 100, and I tried to explain it. Mom and Dad wouldn't listen. They're like, "You're gonna write him a letter." So I don't even know how to write. I'm only in fourth grade. I'm only in the fourth grade.
I'm only this many. I'm only this many.
For audio listeners, he was holding up 6 fingers.
Well, I have no idea if that's fourth grade.
To be 6 years old?
Sixth grade is 11 and 12, which means fifth grade is 10, 11, and fourth grade
9, 10.
9, 10. So
I was somewhere around in there, and then I was pretty upset. And then I had to hand deliver him. I had to wear a postman's uniform, hand deliver him the letter that I wrote, and then I gave it to him. I said, "Hey, you are effing dead."
And then he opened the letter and he was like, "What does this say?"
Yeah, so I remember that. Hey, thank you. Hey, you're uncluttering some of the dust that's inhabiting my brain right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What else? What fifth grade?
Dude, I gotta stop doing that. Well, I remember a lot of my friend. So, should I say his name? He moved away. I don't think it matters.
If he's gonna be a mainstay in the story, sure.
Yeah, his name's Steven. Steven, and then I just dump. No, but he left after 5th grade. So those 2 or 3 years, really close friends. We did a whole lot together, and he was awesome. But so I remember a lot of that. 5th grade, we played football at recess, and I made a note card keeping track of all of my touchdowns. And I think by the end of the year, I made 100.
That's kind of cool.
I don't know if that's true, though.
For 5th grade, that's cool. That's really cool.
I don't know if that's true, though. I could have just been, lying. But I kept the note card with me, all the time. We played every day after recess. Every day we were in the same spot. And there was, 15, 20 of us. It was really fun. I did enjoy that.
And you were the star player.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tom Brady freaking wishes.
I was like a running back.
Are there any other things that you remember?
Yeah, kindergarten.
Well, I was going to say you remember but you're looking back on it now, you're like, there's no way that happened. Like you have a memory of it, but looking back on it, you're like, that didn't happen. That's impossible.
High pitch. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I don't know. I don't know. See, that doesn't unclutter. I don't know.
That does unclutter.
Had to be specific.
Okay,
I remember in kindergarten there's. I don't really remember it, but I remember it happening like afterwards, of me playing kickball on blacktop.
Yeah.
And then I miskicked the ball, and then yeah, I like face plant or something. I got the whole side of my face and arm and stuff. Skinned it, as the young kids would say. Skinned it.
Yeah.
So, as the older folks might say, peeled my skin back, ate it, had communion, not the communion you're thinking of.
Right.
Different type.
Not.
It was before I got pulled. It was before I got pulled into the light.
Yeah.
So. Oh yeah, I wanted to notice. I want to for audio listeners, Walter is shirtless right now. So I'm just staring at this pecs.
I told you, bro, it's hot in here.
I'm just staring at these shiny, hairy pecs.
Okay.
Shiny and hairy.
Well,
what? How does that make sense?
I don't know, but it's.
But he keeps flexing them. He keeps like popping them like Dwayne the Rock.
Yeah.
So, sorry if my brain's foggy.
It's a nervous twitch.
That's probably why.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why. I'm like hypnotizing you. Boom, 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 boom. Duh.
Walter's a hairy dude. Let's just say that for our listeners.
I don't know. I guess I'm hairy.
Yeah, you guess. I'm sitting next to an ape. I'm sitting next to a big old ape.
Bro.
A silverback ape.
I'm not a silverback yet. I'm not old. I don't have gray hair. The reason I asked you about the
things that I know did not happen.
Yeah, is because when I was actually I don't know the grade. I know the guy though. I know the guy who I share this memory with. And unfortunately, he would later go on to clip a kid in a high school parking lot, actually.
Like with his car?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But back in grade school, in elementary school, I want to say it was like 3rd or 4th grade. We were playing Sharks and Minnows outside, and our school back then was in a field, like really open, no trees. So if it was windy, it was really windy. And so recess, we were playing this game, and this is how I remember it, right? And this is why I don't think it really happened. Like, I was a minnow, he was a shark, and he came like running at me, like full speed, as fast as a kid can go. Like, two forces meet each other head on, and all of a sudden this like massive gust of wind happened, right? And so I didn't stop running, and he reached out to the side and like slapped my chest and stomach with his hands. And then it was like the force of him hitting my stomach with the wind gust literally lifted him off the ground.
Lifted him?
Yeah. And he flew back like 5 or 6 feet from the impact of hitting me and the gust of wind that just picked him up. Like, it was, I remember being really windy that day. And after he got me and I saw it happen, nobody else saw it happen. The teachers didn't. It was like they were looking after other kids. We just like stared at each other. He was on the ground. I don't know if it hurt, but he was like too shocked to cry if it did. And then I took off running again and claimed that he never tagged me. And I was still a minnow for the rest of that game. So, who's the real winner?
Is this in elementary school?
Yeah.
Did we went to the same elementary school?
The one with the graveyard next to it?
No.
Oh, I thought we did.
Oh, you know what? No, we didn't. We did not.
I'm about to say, because I don't recognize Miss Hill.
There was 3 in our. There's 3 elementary schools in our surrounding area. Might be 4 even, if you go further. But I think in
our town has
little
3.
Commune, yeah.
The district has 3.
You have a graveyard right next to yours?
Yeah, it's still
yeah,
there.
and if you were at school after hours, literally the dead would come back and haunt you. So
the graveyard's name has the same name as the school.
I don't know graveyards.
Yeah.
I don't live here. I don't live here anymore. I live 30 minutes away. Do you remember? Or have you forgotten, boy?
Boy. I don't know. One of these days we gotta do it.
I don't know.
I don't know. No, that was terrible.
That was good.
My voice cracked.
Please don't cut it. Because it's in your hands, and I know that you're just...
Please don't cut it. I
You're
won't
just
cut
gonna-
it. That's fine.
Are you going to cut what you said we were going to cut?
Yeah. What's another one?
Why? Dude, what is wrong with you?
What's another phone jingle?
Yeah.
That was out of tune.
Apple. Like, ding. Just a ding. Dude, stop.
Stop what?
Stop flapping your wings at me.
Audio listeners at
Your
home.
trap wings.
I'm just looking at Logan doing nothing.
Right. With his pants coming off now, too.
No, they're not. Cool yourself.
Well, let's see. What do you guys remember?
I remember everything, dude.
How? Okay, so that's what... Because my girlfriend literally remembers a lot.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea. And then I start thinking about it, and I'm like, what do I know? Because it's all just is gone. It's all just gone. So all of those stories that I told about elementary school, basically everything that happened at elementary school for me. Like, that's almost all of the
If I
stories.
ask you more questions, you would uncover more.
Probably not.
Probably. Remember the lunchroom, the cafeteria?
Yeah, I remember what it looks like.
Yeah, do you remember getting food there?
Once.
Okay, so you only had one hot lunch ever.
I don't remember every hot lunch.
Sure.
Do you?
Okay, you said once like you
Like,
knew-
I remember one story.
Okay, share it.
Yeah, I said
No.
I was almost run out of elementary school stories. What about
Uh-huh.
middle school?
What about middle school?
You guys were the
everything about middle school.
kings.
And that's not
You
facetious.
and your brother.
We were not the kings.
Sure. You were the king wherever you went. Hey,
No.
wherever you marked your domain, the king. You know what I was? Just a humble peasant. Oh,
No.
Walter won't even
No.
look at me.
No.
Just a peasant
You-
underneath his feet.
I don't think I'm a king, but I would put you at like a squire. Maybe even a lord.
I don't want to be a lord.
Okay. How about a duke?
I want to be a knight. Can I be a knight just like everyone
Actually,
else?
on God, I think a knight fits you better.
Thanks, buddy. But you're a king.
No.
You are king, slay king, yes king. That's for all the young audio listeners.
Okay, you know what I remember? This is like,
Yeah, bring it on.
dude, I remember everything.
I know you do, and I don't remember a single thing.
Do you know what NJHS is?
Yeah.
National Junior Honor Society.
Yeah.
It's just like the goodest boys and girls of middle school.
Yeah.
At least that's the way we did it in our middle school. I don't even think like there wasn't like a number limit. Like you could have like maybe not 60. You could have a lot of kids be in NJHS. Like it was just dependent on how many good kids they could find. They were never bound by that, right? Just like don't swear in front of the teacher and be respectful in class and you kind of can qualify. Anyway, the induction ceremony, which also is kind of weird for middle schoolers, frankly, was held in the gym, and I was running late because I had soccer photos the same day. So I went to school, went to soccer photos, which involves like changing your soccer gear, and then changing back into my nice clothes for the ceremony at the middle school gym. And when I got there, how often do you tuck in your shirt? Just in general.
Not really.
Do you at least know that like once you tuck in your shirt, you kind of got to pull on it a little bit?
Yeah, to make it look right.
Yeah, so like it's kind of loose. So the reason why I know that and why it's burned in my head is because, so this would have been the end of 7th grade. Up until that point, I would always tuck in my shirt, like stick my hand all the way down my pants, totally straighten it out, right? And I'd walk around like with a totally flat shirt, like pressed against my body, and it would look really weird. So I had that rolling into the 7th grade ceremony, and when I got there, everyone pointed and laughed and made fun of me. And there was one girl who I thought was really cute at the time, and she literally
What's her name?
no, no way, bro. And she literally grabbed my shirt and like not okay.
Dude.
Chill out, bro. Chill out.
Dude.
She just like made it loose. Like she just grabbed the shirt around my torso and just made it
She
loose.
grabbed your hips.
No, she did not.
Is this a thing that you think happened, but you know did not?
No, I know this happened. I know this happened, and I know because the teacher saw.
Ooh.
I could probably ask that same teacher.
Little frisky.
I could, brother. It wasn't that deep. It's something I remember, because now I always make sure to fix my shirt after I tuck it
you
in.
say, "I'm thinking of you,"
No,
and then you look up at the moon and you say, "I wonder how many times that you and I are both looking at the moon at the same time. It's kind of like we're together, looking at the moon together."
you think I said that?
Maybe. I would. It could be. I'd bet on it.
When it happened, like I was like talking and gesturing, like, "Oh, I had soccer photos," and she started doing it, and I was like, and I didn't move until she like fixed it.
And you're like, I'm never watching this
No,
shirt.
I didn't.
Never watching
I
the
wasn't-
pants. Never watching my hips.
Brother, it wasn't like that,
Do you like her now?
bro.
Is she cute now?
I don't know. I haven't seen her in years.
Never know. That could be coming back from our last episode. If you didn't listen to it, please check it out. That might be the woman that you're looking for all this time.
Oh, sure.
Just giving you a hard time. That's an awesome story, though. Great story. I love that.
Really?
I do. That is so sick. Because that's like a textbook like movie scenario of like, man, she's so pretty, and then she's like, oh, you dropped your pencil, and you're like, oh.
Thank you. I'm sorry I looked at you. And then like scamper off. Yeah. Except so I was in line.
I
Like
think she really likes
we
me.
were in line by alphabetical. So like
Did she do it to
I
anyone
couldn't
else?
escape. No, because no one else
Exactly.
flattened their shirt against their body.
And she was like, man, I do wish I could stare at your abs all day, but we have to keep this professional.
I don't have, I never have, and probably never will have abs. So
That is not, dude. That is not true. Especially during swim,
I didn't have abs
we
ever.
would see each other naked every day.
Yes. Go on.
And you were ripped.
Yeah. Okay. I had really big pecs.
You still do.
I am. Shut up. No. I'm probably most proud of my deltoids,
Okay.
like the shoulder muscle, because they have a ripple to them.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, they do.
but that's it. Like from the rib cage down, it's like a tube. It's like someone extruded a tube of bologna,
That's funny.
like lunch meat that you wiggle out of the can. Not can. They don't come in cans.
Like, yeah,
The plastic packaging, you know.
yeah. Like actually bologna or Spam? Because Spam comes in a can, but it's a square.
Right.
So that wouldn't fit your narrative very well.
Right. You know. Okay. How about like you ever had like cranberry sauce,
Mm-hmm.
canned cranberry sauce?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that. If you were to flip upside down, like crack the can, flip upside down, wiggle it out. Whoop, 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 whoop. Wait. Dang it! It's not in here. Out back, there's like a sheet of metal that I can go. Whoop, 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 whoop. But yeah, that's what it'd be like.
That's what you think your rib cage down is?
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I guess you can be humble and say that that's not what it was, but I don't know. In this day and age, I guess we could call that abs.
No, we can't.
Yeah, we can. In my stomach,
We can call it ab. Okay.
whenever I lift my shirt up, it's just like an outline of my organs, which is really weird.
It's
like
really kind of disconcerting.
my skin is so tight. Yes, it's just like you. It's crazy. Speaking of that, though, I will note that my rib cage sticks up. Did you know that? You might have.
Mine flares out too.
My left side. I think it's higher up too.
Maybe people are born with different.
Abnormalities,
Abnormalities. Yeah, that.
anomalies.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you have any other questions about?
your body.
No.
Couldn't save them.
No.
What
I think you've.
Do you have any other? I want to hear stories.
From when?
Like that one.
From when and about what?
Anything that comes to mind, since you're all knowing and remember everything, and I remember nothing.
So,
So
I don't know if it was my grade specifically, or just like the generation of kids that we belong to, but like apparently we took having no recess very hard in middle school.
yeah, so
Or maybe the teachers were complaining that we're like too rambunctious.
yeah, because
right?
5th year I went from Hall of Famer running back to
Right, touchdown master
Yeah,
to sit still and be quiet.
yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. I would bet the teachers were complaining
Really?
that we're just like being way too rowdy in class. Because after lunch, like we didn't get an extra amount of time after lunch, but if you finish food early within like the half hour of lunch, you could then go outside, not to like any playground or anything.
Yeah, it was so lame.
It was just like out in the main
Also, can
entrance
we
of the school.
Talk about our school. That it was like it's like a prison.
Yeah, it's
Literally
actually
looks like a
it's a lot
prison.
better now because they added
Really?
a lot more facades. Next time you drive past it, look at it because like it's a lot better now. But
Just literally a cornfield is what I.
when we were at school, well, we had the solar field too. So it's like also really big field surrounded by cornfields. There's a solar field. There's a football field. There's a lot of fields
Yeah.
around that place. And the school is just
Like
4
plopped.
different boxes
Yeah.
with no.
I always envisioned it, and that might be true, but I always envisioned it as just like one big square.
Sure, but like you can make out from the outside, like, okay, that's the band room, that's the gym, that's the cafeteria, because like they all protrude,
Maybe you can.
and it looks like a jail.
Okay.
I know stories of
There's like no service in there.
like people thought it was a jail when it went up. Not
And
knowing
how
any better.
right they were.
Yeah, well, that school's crazy. Anyway, so we're playing in the jail yard. This like. It was just so bizarre because yes, we want recess, but we're also going through puberty, and so now we're like getting really sweaty outside, which never happened as like young kids.
Mm-hmm.
So people are like, yes, they want to be outside, but they don't want to get too sweaty because they can't shower or anything, you know. And no one knows what to do. Like in grade school, we'd play tag.
Yeah, who's
right?
gonna do that though?
Well,
6th and 7th and 8th grade, like tag your
when you're
it.
playing in a square of pavement because it's the entrance to the school. Yeah, like there's no jungle gym, like there's nothing to do. And so I think most people just like sat and talked, which is what I should have done too. But I was like antsy. I was like, we have recess again. What are we gonna do? And so I remember it vividly. I was talking to who would in high school become the quarterback of the football team. Great guy. And I was like, hey bro, watch this. And I turn and face this sheer, pale wall, because there's many of those at that school.
Mm-hmm.
And I run full speed, and my plan was to run up, plant my foot on the wall, and pretend to do a backflip, because that's funny.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna be like, parkour, right? Ha ha ha! Like, wasn't that so bad? What actually happened was it had rained the day prior, and so I'm running full speed, plant one foot, lift the other foot off the ground, and the foot that's planted is immediately flies out from beneath me, and I land in a puddle, like a massive muddy puddle from the rain the day before, in front of a really popular guy who would become the quarterback and all his friends. And it's like one of those things where I like go whoop, my head hits the ground so hard, and I pop right back up, and I'm like, oh, I'm fine. And then because I was going about it in a way that was like meant to be a joke, right? Like my intention was to fail, quote, like fail the backflip in that first place.
Mm-hmm.
When I walked back, they were like, bro, do you mean to do that? And I was like, yeah, yeah. And so then they're like, still weirded out, but not.
Yeah,
They didn't think I
I
was, like,
wanted
totally
to get all
crazy.
muddy.
Yeah, pretty much. I said that. And then when I got back to class, they're like, my teacher was like, what happened to you? So, I don't know.
And I never heard of that.
That story?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't told that story to anyone.
I know.
Because it
but
doesn't matter. Because who cares?
what do you mean? Who cares?
I'm burdened with this knowledge. Who cares? No one. That didn't make an impact at all.
Are you saying to the story right now, to our storytelling, or you mean at the time?
Yeah, I mean, like,
So I asked you two questions, and then you say yeah.
I've never had a reason to share it.
Oh, okay. I know, but what I was getting at is like, you'd think that everything would fly around at middle school, but I never. Did you hear about the kid who dunked himself in mud bath? In mud bath? For audio listeners, in mud bath? No, I did not. But please tell me. Like, they never came around.
I also think because I played it off like I meant to do that, no one really talked about it.
Oh,
I don't know. I told Aaron. Oh, nah.
it's fine.
I told one of my best friend. And he laughed in my face, which he should. Like, that was funny. But I think he's the only person I ever told.
And now we sold all of you, so you're welcome.
Yeah.
All of you. All of our children. What would we call people who listen to our podcast? Like, what are they?
Audio listeners.
No. It has to be something fun.
That is
something
fun
unique.
because there is
Audio
no video
listeners.
listeners. There is no video listeners. They're all audio listeners.
There might be.
No.
So then we're going to change it? What do you mean no? We 100% will one day.
We refer to them as that right now. Audio listeners at home.
That's... Yeah, I say that as a joke. Though.
Right. Because it's funny.
Yes.
So until something changes, like...
That's not what I mean, though. Because, like, in the Almost Friday podcast, which you guys should definitely check out, they call all of their listeners, like, bugs.
Yeah, and Danny Gonzalez calls his fandom Greg, and Drew Gooden says, hey, guy, and Chuckle Sandwich calls their guys audio listeners, too,
Oh.
or chucklers.
So what are we going to call ours?
It's just stupid. It doesn't matter. I think audio listeners is funny.
You are such a Debbie Downer.
Audio...
It doesn't matter. Also, all of our listeners...
For all you audio listeners at home.
No, your phone did not just buzz. that would be your host.
Check this out. Hey, Alexa, play the Gummy Bear song. I hope whoever is listening has an Alexa nearby.
And they're just playing it out loud.
Yeah.
Playing it out loud to their home. They're just speakerphone, because this is a phone call. They have it on speakerphone, playing it, and just... What am I... They're just, like, assaulting everyone in their household.
Sure.
Assaulting everyone's ears.
What else? Give me a year.
Give me a year. 1957.
Give me a school year.
Year of probably the best model of Chevy Bel Air.
Oh, I was gonna say year of the cat.
Was that the year of the cat?
I don't know.
Probably not.
I was born in the year of the rat.
Oh, I don't know. I see now. I see where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what. I was born in. Can we say? We can say. I said I was 19. You guys know what year this is. I was born in 05. Yeah, 2005. Not 1905. That'd be crazy. Come on, guys. Come on. Come on, Bigglesteins. That would be crazy.
That's stupid. Come on, all the Bigglesteins.
You know who that is?
Come to what?
Ickabar. Ikbar
No, who's
Bigglestein?
Ikbar Bigglestein?
Oh, that's our listeners. It's a story. It's a funny story. It's a creepy story, but it's funny.
Is it like?
It's a creepy pasta, but it's like
Oh,
just so comically weird. But it's a funny name.
yeah, it is.
I think Ikbar, yeah, because there's Mr. Widemouth. It's another creepy pasta. That one's pretty good. That one's really funny too, though. Guys, check out Creepcast, please. And by saying this, Spotify's gonna pick this up and then link our podcast to, like, whenever people search up
Right.
Creepcast, our podcast will come up because we mentioned it. That's how that works. Being dead serious.
Cool.
Anyway, yeah, they read creepypastas, and one of the hosts has been doing creepypasta stuff for like 10 years on YouTube or however long, Wendigoon. And the other person is most popular known as Meat Canyon.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of artwork stuff, but he's also like an insane voice actor. And yeah, he's pretty funny. So he voices a lot of the characters in the creepypastas. And let's just say sometimes when they're having when the story starts getting a little bad, they start throwing in voices and stuff. So that's what made those stories funny to me. Mr. Widemouth and Ikbar.
Ikbar Bigglestein.
Ikbar, he protects you from the darkness, but you have to give him teeth.
Okay.
So
Like your teeth?
yeah, like whenever you lose all of your teeth, then he wants it. Can I have your teeth? You say, sure, Ikbar. Thanks, Ikbar Bigglestein. But anywho, yeah, who cares about that? Stupid story. We're just gonna cut it. Stupid. Shouldn't have said it. Anyway, something more interesting. Tell me about? Yeah, have you ever had any injuries? Have you ever sustained any? None. Like you have nothing notable.
Through sports,
Anything.
I sliced up my finger with a box cutter.
When?
I was building a wooden clock. I was given a wooden clock kit from my parents as a birthday gift one year. I think I was 13? 14? 13. And when there's like a lot of tiny gears and cogs and dowel rods, like pins, to hold everything together.
Mhm.
And I didn't have a serrated blade because I was 13 and stupid. And so instead of using I had a box cutter, and I was trying to saw through these wooden dowel rods, and it wouldn't go. Like, it's really hard because that's not what the blade's made for. And so I'd grab the dowel rod in my fingers like this, and the box cutter like this. Audio listeners, do your best. And I just was pushing so hard. I was trying to get the box cutter through, and all of a sudden it just slipped and went right through my finger like it wasn't even there.
Clean cut.
Clean cut.
All the way through, finger
And
plop on the ground.
like that was the most scared I've been from an injury because I thought I nicked the bone. Like, it hurt so bad and it appeared so deep. I think I just barely missed it, honestly. But I literally, like, body was pumped full of adrenaline, and I just said, "Mom, this one's pretty bad." And then I ran to the kitchen, doused it under warm water, and it was like, like to the beat of my heart, it was like gushing out. It was like boom, boom, boom. So I nicked an artery. And all I did was I just grabbed so many paper towels, wrapped my hand around as hard as I could, and just squeezed it for like an hour. And eventually it did close up. Like, it did scab over. I didn't need stitches. I probably should have got some. Now I have a little tiny scar right there. But the gnarliest part is that after I finally calmed down that night and went back to clean up the wood glue and shavings and stuff of my work, I noticed that on the floor, on the walls, and on the ceiling, there were drops of blood. So that when I cut through my finger and I reacted, I cut through and a big arc. I took the blade like this, and I went like that. I went and straightened out my arm.
It's like a samurai cleaning his blade.
And in doing so, I literally splattered blood from floor to ceiling. I went like that. It was crazy.
That's sick. That's sick.
What about you?
I cut my finger today. I was cutting an apple. I don't know why I did it. It was like stupid. I was like, I'm probably gonna cut my finger right here. And there it is. And there it is.
To no surprise, there it is.
I was I was watching my finger in the path of the knife as I was cutting, and then it slipped, and I was like, interesting. That's interesting that happened.
Oh man, that is something.
Like this piques my curiosity to a
Interesting.
greater depth. And then I looked. It was bleeding faintly, but it felt deep.
Yeah.
It was like a paper cut. It was like a paper cut. Like it hurt pretty bad, and I could feel my heartbeat through it. But there was no blood, hardly.
Sometimes the deepest wounds show
Bleed
no.
the least.
Sure. Yeah, that's better. Sometimes the deepest wounds bleed the least.
Mm.
Sun Tzu said that.
And not Walter. Walter Bleep. You thought I'd say his last name.
Not
You'll
Logan.
never find us. we're held up, and we're keeping little listeners captive here. You'll never know where here is. Sorry, law enforcement. Sorry, security officers. Sorry, firemen. You'll never find them again. Anyway, other injury that just happened in the garage the other day. Cut the palm of my hand with a rusty saw.
Ooh.
Ooh. Think I've had tetanus shot in the last 10 years, so we're just going to call it good. and call it good I did.
Scratching my head, and I think... Yeah, I got a tetanus shot, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of hurt. It bled, too. Right on a part that kind of wiggles around on my hand. I put a Band-Aid on it, and then I wrapped it in electrical tape to hold it still.
Sure.
Hold still. And then I continue working in the garage because I'm a man. I looked at the blade, and I was like, there's not that much rust on it. It's probably fine. Yeah. Something was falling because my brother propped something up, and that was starting to fall. So then I pushed it up, and with doing that, it like bumped the saw, like this hand saw, off the, and then I instinctively like grabbed at it, and I just grabbed the blade.
That's insane.
I was like, interesting. This is and then I looked at my hand.
Interesting. This is interesting.
Yeah, bleeding, and I was like,
Interesting.
I see.
And then I looked at my hand, and I was like,
And then, yeah, I peeled the skin back, and I just kept digging. And I was like, this is fascinating.
And then once you got to the wires, you were like, why are there wires in my skin?
So then I pulled those out, and
Yep,
then there's
kept going.
white bone,
Yep.
and then
No.
like it was paint.
The white exoskeleton.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then I used a little bit of sandpaper, sanded that down.
Yep.
There's the stainless steel.
Yep.
That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, there it is. Interesting.
It's like, it's cool. All right, I'm gonna put a Band-Aid on,
yeah.
and then I carried on with my day.
You put the putty back in. That was your flesh, and
Yeah.
you like kind of pressed the wires in, like yeah.
And by blood, I meant it was like it's oil. It was like
Yeah.
oil peeling out.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I just gave myself a few more pumps, and then we called it there. But
When was the last time you ever like skinned something? We know you did in kindergarten.
yeah,
But
I don't remember like that kind of stuff.
really? Because
Yes.
I remember because it was very impactful to me.
Because it what?
Because it was very impactful to me. Like not just because it hurt, but it was this past year at college. One of my residents is like a master at a ripstick.
Mm-hmm.
He can go up and down curbs. He can go up and down stairs.
That's insane.
Yeah, like he pivots on one wheel and like really quick scampers up the steps, which of course means he could do a wheelie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I had started ripsticking again because of him, like just to hang out with him. It was really fun. And now like I'm comfortable, doing basic movements on ripstick. And I was like, next step, let's try a wheelie, I try it, immediately flies up from underneath me, and I hit my hip, elbow. No, that's it. Really just a hip and elbow. And the hip was covered by clothes, obviously, right?
Wait, what's this one called?
Your hip.
And what's it?
Oh, that's your elbow.
And where are these?
Oh, these are ribs?
Okay.
And your rib bone's connected to your nipple bone?
Okay.
Yes, get it?
That makes sense because every time that you flex,
Yeah,
your nipples are moving. Like audio listeners, I'm so sorry that you can't see this because they are actually like I could almost reach my hand out and grab hold of them like rope,
Oh my gosh, bro.
like a dangling rope off of a helicopter.
And then if you wanted to, you could skip it too.
Continue. Sorry.
So I wiped out, right?
Yeah.
And like now I'm fully an adult, and I'm surrounded by other fully adults,
Mm-hmm.
and like it really hurt. But they're like, "Are you good?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And I iced it, but I just realized like I tried to do something new. I tried to learn a new skill, and I failed, and it hurt, but I'm fine. I didn't break anything.
I would be discouraged instantly.
I didn't.
No, I'm never doing that again.
I
I
did-
just made fun of myself. I just hurt myself.
But I was surrounded by people who like were supportive. They're like, "Yeah, man, that was funny."
right.
Like
On the outside, they are. On the inside,
they're
this guy's a baby. This guy's a big baby that just tried to do something cool and failed miserably.
It was great, honestly, because before that, I also don't remember the last time I skinned. Like, I would have been 12. Like, before middle school was probably the last time I ever skinned something, which is years ago, 8 years. So, it was like, I felt like a kid again. Like, I got hurt. I scraped up
Did
my
the
elbow,
world seem a little brighter?
and now I'm fine. Yeah, honestly, it did. Like, I was lying there, clutching my elbow.
Limp.
Ooh, but I was like, that was fun. That was fun. I'm okay. Everything's fine.
I wrecked my bike twice at college. Did you
How?
know that?
I did not know that.
So I have a BMX bike.
With like
Yeah.
the stunt bars on the wheels.
Pegs.
Okay.
So for half of you guys are saying, you just said, not gonna repeat it. The other half of you guys are saying, peg, like the song.
Like
Peg.
I've seen you. Wait, what's the rap remix?
I don't know it. Are you saying MF Doom?
No.
Yeah.
There's like a different one-hit wonder that just used Peg.
I think I might know what you're talking about. If
Is
you guys know, let us know down in the
is
comments.
it your favorite foreign movie?
What?
Brother.
What?
It's your favorite foreign movie?
I don't know the lyric.
Audio
I'm not
listeners at
Steely
home,
Dan.
That's a lyric. I am not a Steely Daniel.
Okay, anyway. Yeah, so it's got pegs on the front and back.
Yeah.
And I don't remember the first time I wrecked it. What did I do? Don't remember. Anyway, second time though, that I do remember.
Dude, that's it. Ever since you wrecked it the first time, you can't remember anything anymore. I cracked the case.
I never hit my head, but yeah.
Oh.
Second time though, much more noticeable. I had, or much more rememberable. I was flying, and see, this is what I'm talking about. I don't remember college. I don't remember. It just sucked. Anyway, though,
That was my freshman year too.
it's like I'm pulling at nothing. I'm pulling. I'm like I'm reaching for these
Crumbly
these,
gray platforms.
these ropes that I think are ropes, but they're pink. And there's hair around them.
Oh.
And then so I don't know. I was flying though, and I had to take this really sharp turn because I think someone was there's like bike lanes.
Yeah.
And there's these big concrete flower pots. And somebody was like on the wrong side of the bike lane or something that caused me to have to make an obnoxious maneuver that I would not like, almost like a 90 within a second on this BMX bike. So I turned really hard.
Just instantly turn your wheel.
Like I leaned
Yeah.
hard, and my peg caught the flower pot, and I flipped over it.
Really? Over the handlebars or over the pot?
So I was going over the handlebars. I was staying upright, but then my backpack, because I was wearing it, like lifted up and caused me to flip over. It's like a counterweight. So I was like staying on my feet, but my huge freaking backpack
Yeah.
flipped over my head and made me fall. So then I somersaulted, and then somebody was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Get off me!" And whenever I flipped into the flower pot or whatever, there was like flowers on the ground. So I don't remember what I did with those. I think I picked them up, either gave them to someone or I set them down. I set them down as like someone just died here.
That's funny.
Yeah, and then my bikes, I had to fix my steering and stuff, but yeah, that happened. Yeah, that happened. And then the rest of my day was pretty much downhill from there. Peg,
We'll come back to you.
No, we can't sing that. No, we can't sing that. Steely Daniels coming after our soul, after our behinds. Sorry. This is probably my worst scar. Do you remember?
Oh yeah, I still have the photo saved on my phone.
Do you remember? Okay. Cool.
Anyway, you want to tell a story?
You want me to? Fine, if you're gonna twist my arm.
Hopefully not that arm.
Okay, so
Twist your arm like a rope did. Keep going.
have I ever told this story or no? On the pod?
I wouldn't be surprised if you had actually.
Maybe. I was
I-
more obsessed with it before.
I can't remember.
I would like plant my arm. I would like stick my arm out. It would be cold out, and I would roll my sleeves up so
Yeah.
I could have my arm out and say, "Oh,
This?
this."
Actually, it's
And they're like,
interesting.
"No, what's the time?" I was like, I was like, I actually don't. And they're like, "You have a watch in your other hand." I was like, "Oh, right, okay."
I actually think you did share that story before.
Okay, cool.
I am still amazed that.
Cool.
Your arm is like.
Should I I'm just gonna retell it
Sure.
in case, because it's probably been at least 10 episodes. So every 10 episodes I retell it, but so I don't. It was a while ago now. I was like 16, probably 16 or 17. So many years ago, I was working at the farm, and that's where I worked before my internship. And then I don't know. I was cleaning it inside of a bin. If you've ever been if you ever live in our area or you were a farmer, because there's a lot of farm stuff around us, you probably know what a bin is. There's a silo and then there's a bin.
A grain bin.
Bin is, grain bin is just like a shortened silo kind of.
Mhm.
But to clean it out, you have to use this like auger. It's called a bin sweep.
Uh-huh.
It has like an auger blade that looks like a corkscrew.
Yeah.
And it goes around the bin. So anyway, I was in there while, like, you kind of have to be in there sometimes while it's running. Sometimes the floor, especially like in some of those ones where they're older, the metal floor starts getting kicked up for whatever reason, or like bent in areas. So the bin sweep will get caught on the floor. So someone's in there like walking behind it to help keep it moving along, because whenever there's like a center hole that with an auger that brings stuff out, and once you do that long enough, it kind of creates like this inverted conical shape.
Yeah.
Where all the grain is left up on the walls and then all coming downwards towards the center where there's nothing there. So now you have to bring out the bin sweep to clean up the edges. And I was in there, and we just had like a rope tied to the end of the machine. It wasn't really like there's like poles and stuff that you can use to hold on to it the proper way, but we just had a rope, and I wrapped it around my left hand. And I know a lot of you listeners just said "ooh" audibly whenever I said that. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know, but it was my left hand, and I was weaker in that arm because I have a dominant hand and a non-dominant hand, as most people do. And then I was like, the string was long enough, though, that it was like dragging on the ground a little bit. I don't know. Something happened, and then I just wasn't paying attention to it, so the bottom of the string that was connected to my wrapped hand got instantly ripped into within a second, ripped into the machine, and so did my arm. And then my arm stopped the machine because it was a small enough auger and bin sweep that the belt was smoking on the engine.
Wow.
If it was bigger, if I was in a bigger bin, it would have just took my arm off. Probably just took my arm off, and my whole body would have just been sucked in like a cartoon, and then it looks like my hat would have came off, and that would be the only thing left.
Well, I'm glad it's not.
Yeah. Or else this little podcast that we just try to bring hope and prosperity to you guys and make your guys' day a little bit better probably wouldn't be a thing.
Yeah, and no one wants to hear me talking to a beanbag chair.
Literally, because I'm sitting in a beanbag chair for audio listeners who don't know that. Anyway, so yeah, then I picked up the machine. I was yelling, but it was loud in there because it was running, and we're in an echo chamber. It's like, I'm like, help! I was like, hey! I was saying hey to shut it off, and I did think that this is where I was gonna die. I actually did.
Really?
Yes. I was like, so this is where I die.
Yep, that's me. You're
No.
probably wondering how I got here.
No, but I actually did think I was gonna die. I was like, interesting. So this is how I go.
Interesting.
It didn't hurt.
Interesting.
My arm was just fully enveloped in the machine. My wrist is caught in between the shield and the corkscrew blade.
So is
So then
your arm stopping the blade?
Yep.
Okay.
So if I pulled my arm
And-
out,
and you're
it
s-
probably would continue running.
And you're saying that like if the machine was more powerful, the blade would have just kept
Yeah.
going. Okay.
So, thanks to massive forearms. So you could say thank you to my massive forearms for that. And then I was at the opposite end of the doorway, so I picked up the machine and because it is on like a pivot. So
Sure.
the farthest end that was near me has a wheel that just rolls, and then the center is like bolted in. So I had to pick up the machine and like walk towards the doorway so that I could get to the doorway because I was chained to this thing. And then the guy shut it off, pulled my arm out, and then we wrapped it up, went to the hospital, got stitches. That was basically it. Went home.
Wait. See, hold on.
What?
How? So you yourself pulled your arm out of the machine.
No, they helped me pull. I picked up the machine and carried it to the door
Okay.
because I was pinned in the machine. Like I couldn't get out of it by myself, and I didn't want to try, or else it would just like. So yeah, I carried it to the door. I had to walk in like a circle because it's a pivot.
Uh-huh.
So that was aggravating. I was like, oh my gosh, it's just another thing. Just another thing to make my day go even worse. I had to walk in a semicircle to the door.
And it didn't hurt in this moment.
No, I felt nothing. It just was like numb. I knew that something happened. Like, my arm shouldn't be feeling like this, but there
Yeah.
was no pain.
So, what did you guys wrap it in on the way to the hospital?
Rags. We had like shop rags,
Okay.
I think. It really wasn't bleeding.
I think you got so
I did,
incredibly
because
lucky.
So it cut the top of my wrist, I guess like my forearm towards my hand. And if my arm was flipped, it would have cut like all my veins.
Right.
And I might have bled out.
Yeah.
'Cause it
I think you
happens-
probably
happens
would've.
quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
It did I got my thumb too. It
Mhm.
cut like around the base of my thumb,
Yeah.
but like just the flesh.
The pictures you showed me are very gnarly. And like you're right, like even if your arm, like let's say your arm is still in the same orientation where it cuts the top.
Mhm.
If it just would have cut like a centimeter or two deeper,
Mhm.
you would have had probably irreparable damage. Like you might have lost the thumb.
Mhm. Yeah.
Crazy. And it looks great now. Like it really does. All your listeners at home look like an arm, as opposed to like a pulpy flesh mallet.
There's still it's like which I'm sure. So I guess on your scar, do you have feeling there like nerve, or does that just go away? Because around the base of my thumb, it's like it tingles.
On like scar tissue.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say I have a heightened nerve
Really?
there. Yeah. That might be like a mental thing though. Like it hurts so bad. Like I might just
Interesting.
be scared of it. So like I perceive it to be tingling or feel more pain.
Yeah, my thumb, it just feels like it just tingles. I don't know. In my hand, I don't know. Feels fine, I think. My arm. Yeah, but went through a lot of physical therapy. I don't remember how many stitches I had. I had like 19 stitches or something,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe less. I don't know. I had a lot on my thumb or on my arm. Like 10 or 15 in one area and then like a bit less on the other, but yeah, I didn't even feel a thing. They're putting stitches on me. I was like, "Oh, you guys are done?" Oh, I didn't know you guys had started yet.
Interesting.
It didn't. It actually did not hurt though until they put like the last stitch in my thumb.
Mm-hmm.
But then the days following, it really hurt. It felt like it was like extremely sore. Like I'd overused it, and then the next years after that though, I still don't know if I could bend it all the way as my other one. But I used to hit it in soccer sometimes, and it would just like send
Really?
nerves all the way up. Like it was sore again. Like I had injured it.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was aggravating. It was like a numbing pain, but other than that, I don't think I've never broken a bone.
Same.
Yeah, that was about it. I think whenever I was really little, I got nursemaid's elbow.
What
Take-
is that?
Thing with the arm. It's like so I was like being. Somebody had grabbed my arms and was like twirling me around,
I see.
like nursemaids used to do. Literally. And I don't know. It like pulls it out of alignment or something.
Okay.
I think I cried. Don't know. Don't remember. Probably didn't. But yeah, that was my most tragic injury. Wish it was something cooler. Wish I got like a saw blade spun out of somewhere and like went to my eye, and my skull caught it, so that I can have like a sick scar down my eye.
Yeah.
That'd be sick, dude. That'd be sick.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, and then I'd have like on my eyebrow there'd be like no hair there because I had a saw blade that almost cut through my head, but I stopped it with my skull. Okay, cool.
Okay. Cool. Whatever. Ain't nothing but a thing. We the host of the.
Do you have any other stories about any other funny stories like
Funny stories.
any other funny stories
I
like
got a quick one.
okay.
Yeah, as I said before, tag was huge in elementary school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it was really the only game you could play. That and boys chase girls / girls chase boys, which of course is named because
So
someone
fun.
would shout,
So fun.
"Boys chase girls."
Yeah, no one
and
could catch me.
And then everyone at earshot. Yeah, even when the the girls were trying to chase me, they like didn't like. I guess they knew I was like so fast that they had no chance, but like they would get like I would get really close to them and they never wanted to chase me, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, I'd run up to them and say,
Nah,
oh.
boo boo.
I'd bend on tie my shoes. Say, oh, now's your chance. Oh, I'm preoccupied, and they'd flee.
Yeah, they'd
I'd say, oh no, it's not boys chase girls. It's girls. Hit. And then I have my hand in the air. I say, no, it's actually girls chase boys.
and then like the wind would take your breath away, like just
Yeah, and
like,
my hand would go
like
limp.
sink down.
I was like,
I guess she's really not confident in her ability to catch me.
but she does like to pull my shirt out.
No. Anyway, chase games were all the rage, and we played with tag backs, which I enjoy. I still to this day, like I play tag a lot, but it's like it's a faster paced thing, like you have like a tag duel from just tagging each other back over and over again.
Yeah.
And two of my closer friends, it was like a Roadrunner Coyote level chase, like on the wood chips, sun beating down, the heat waves radiating off the playground equipment, and it was one of those things where like the rest of the players were on the play set cheering people on, and it was literally like maybe they were an inch apart. Like they had this whole run around the whole playground where the guy who was like an inch apart the whole time, like so close, cutting all these corners so close. I was enthralled, like it was like a movie. And the guy who's running away all of a sudden makes a fast break. He like whips around the slide and makes a break for it, towards the other slide at the other end of the play set. It's kind of like if you're gonna walk on it nowadays, there's like steps up to the first platform. Left is a slide, right is a bridge. Across the bridge, there's a rock wall and the slide. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
So around the slide, running parallel to the bridge, comes to the support post that's holding up the other slide. Does that make sense? Like you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
We're all rooting for him. And at the last second, like a Matrix level, what's it called? Like a fast twitch muscles. The guy who's it, like puts his hand on the post and keeps his like forward momentum. So he just like basically runs forward and swings tangent to the circle of the post. So he grabs it, whoosh, swings around, and the guy who's it so close, he doesn't have time to react. So he just smacks his head into the post, like a bell, like a giant, like the Yongle bell in the Ming Dynasty was just struck, dong, and he's and falls back and starts crying. And we're all like, yeah, you escaped him, while he's just still crying in the wood chips. That was
sick.
so much fun. That was so much fun. It was like two blurs, and all of a sudden the blur just teleported a foot to the right, and the second blur couldn't react. It just like smacked into the post. It was incredible.
That's awesome.
Good times. Simple times.
There was a time that I took my friend's phone in his basement because we were hanging out, and I thought it'd be funny. So I took his phone, and he started chasing me around, and I was like looking behind me, and then I ran straight into like the beam to support the house,
Yeah.
and I hit it with his phone. So I like cracked his screen protector, and hit my collarbone, and kind of like fell back, and I was like, "Here's your phone." Yeah.
Classic Gambit.
Literally, great times.
Yeah. We should play tag
Yeah,
with other people.
just me and you.
The 1v1's really lame.
Tag your it, Walter. I could probably grab those big old nipples from here. I could probably swing on those things like a tire swing.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think that'll be it for this podcast episode. Thank you for tuning in.
For tuning in and tuning out.
Or maybe not tuning in at all, since we were, shall we say, inactive listening.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that was good. Hey, that was good.
Yeah.
I was gonna. Oh, I'm having a heat wave. Tropical heat wave. All right. Thank you guys for listening. If you made it this far, which we know you did not. Okay. Goodbye.